Really excited to announce a new partnership between Amazon and Iris TV. And really what we've partnered together to do is to bring video level contextual and brand safety data to the Amazon Connections marketplace. What that really means is we're really connecting the Iris TV platform through our API endpoints that enable publishers to activate video level data, and the Amazon platform really building a seamless onboarding and activation method for publishers. Why that's really exciting to us is the Amazon Publisher Services team has done an amazing job with solutions like their transparent ad marketplace, their TAM product that many publishers in the ecosystem are utilizing as a sort of header bidding and yield solution. And when we've been working with a lot of our publishers, we've been looking for opportunities to streamline the onboarding process and to make it as frictionless as possible to add Iris-enabled data. So the Iris ID as our content identifier and the key value pairs and the different information that we bring to market, and helping the publisher activate that data as seamlessly as possible. And so the integration between the APS system and Iris TV is going to enable all of the publishers that work with Amazon to activate the Iris data and Iris products directly inside the Connections marketplace with no development work and really removing a lot of the technical work for the product teams. So that's really why we're excited and a huge benefit to the publisher side of the ecosystem. Now, to switch to the buying side, what we've been working on over the past 2 years is how do we bring video level data to market? And so how do we enable buyers and sellers to transact on the topic of content that perhaps is running adjacent to the ad? And so at the end of the day, as we increase the footprint of supply partners that are Iris enabled, we're going to increase the available inventory for those buyers to ensure at the end of the day that the media dollars that they spend are against inventory that's transparent and that it can be targeted, it can be verified, and at the end of the day, it can be measured to make obviously the CTV market as valuable as we all know that it can be.
Well, you raise a good point about identifiers, and in the CTV space, which is cookieless, kind of curious to know, how contextual advertising works there. I know, in the digital space, we've seen a lot of worries about what will happen when cookies disappear and the loss of identifiers at Apple, for example. But please tell us a bit more about how this works in CTV.
Yes, so contextual has been around for a long time. Obviously, contextual buying and targeting was the centerpiece of search, understanding what a consumer is searching for and understanding the context of that query. When the display space, came to be, contextual was at the forefront in analyzing the text in an article and understanding, is that page food and beverage, article and page? Is it sports content? Obviously, is it brand safe or suitable for the advertiser? And a lot of those technologies have been running on things like search queries in search and on page URLs in the display space. And a lot of those signals are passed between sellers and buyers and has enabled the industry to try to transact in a transparent manner and allowing buyers to control the type of content that they want their brand message to be associated with. And so a lot of these things have been the byproduct of the industry historically. Now, video and CTV doesn't operate in the same way. We obviously don't have page URLs that are being passed between buyers and sellers. There is no text on the page to analyze. And so really what the industry has needed in order to make these comparable data sets available in CTV is content signals. And the ecosystem obviously is a complicated place. And in order to create content signals, you really need to tie together the content infrastructure. So in the video space, that would be content management systems, CDNs, video players, and the ad ecosystem, ad servers, SSPs, and DSPs. And so really what Iris TV is doing is building a video data platform to connect those different constituents and enabling that data to actually be present. And so there's been a lot of work with different partners over the past 12 to 18 months to increase the scale of the signal, and then to begin working on different applications that can use that signal, whether that be a planning solution for an investment team to understand how much inventory is there in CTV around food and beverage content, or what percentage of inventory is actually safe, all the way through measuring at the end of the day how effective a campaign was that was served to consumers watching a certain type of content versus another. So we've been really excited at the collaboration across the ecosystem. This is a complicated space with a lot of moving pieces, but think the industry is taking great steps to solving some of these macro issues that we think will unlock significant investment in video and CTV.
Well, that brings me to my final question about what you expect to happen, let's say in the next 6 to 12 months, or if there's anything you'd like to happen. Is there anything that's top of mind for you, or any key issues that you hope get resolved?
Yeah, I think at the moment, there's a number of things happening across the board in streaming and CTV, which is likely to happen in an industry that's growing this quickly with this many sort of moving pieces. So I think one thing that we're a little concerned about is the inability for buyers and sellers to know exactly what type of content an advertisement is running adjacent to when that pertains to things like brand safety and suitability. So sort of understanding risk. What we want to enable is for buyers and sellers to transact on the topic of content that they believe is most suitable. And when you're not able to do that, obviously you have risk on the agency and the brand side, and increasing risk is going to likely decrease investment over time. So we're definitely concerned with some of the brand safety issues that are still present in the CTV space, but also happy to see that the industry is collaborating around how we can solve those problems, because that really they are complicated issues. So that's one big item that we're sort of focused on. On the other side of the fence, like we've been very pleased to see content owners adopting sort of content signals and being really open to how that new data set can enable them to transact in different ways, whether that's packaging their inventory in a new and different way around certain content categories, and having a discussion with perhaps an investment team in a very similar way that they would in the linear space around both audience and content data, but doing that in CTV, which is not something that's been done at scale historically. So I think those are a couple of things that, some sort of worries and concerns that the industry is, currently tackling, that we think are imperative to increasing the amount of investment in the space. And also some elements that the ecosystem is doing a great job in collaborating on together.